Love you.
Friday, 10 o'clock to it's showtime, the EV Café News.
Good morning, you beautiful people, and welcome to the EV Café News. We've just been talking wearing caps and nothing else. I don't know why, but we were. Anyway, 30 minutes of what's happening in sustainable transport with expert analysis from the EV Café crew, ably supported by Drax Electric Vehicles. And I do wonder if, Paul, you might put your headphones in, dear. Right, we are going to be stopping off at Drax Electric Vehicles on the much-awaited EV Rally, coming to you in September with our friends at Greenfleet. Looking forward to that, and today's opinions on a stick are the quite hairy, hirsute and wonderful Sam Clark. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
And the follically challenged Alderney. Now, you always give us a hard time for taking flight, Sam. Did you swim?
No, I did fly, but it's all of 30 minutes.
Unspeakable wretch. And Paul, are you well?
I'm delightful, John. I'm delightful.
Oh, we know, darling. We know. Right. Okay. Let's see what's coming up in the clean transport this week. And first up, used electric van prices are now stable, more stable than Paul, after falling by almost a third. Dedicated HGV public chargers are required to drive electrification. Sam knows, you know. Europe's ports are not doing enough to tackle toxic air pollution, and we have a boatload to say about that. And finally, a new DPD distribution centre, 6 new DPD distribution centres are to feature EV charging. Good news for DPD and for drivers. And Paul, there's something big breaking about Iveco and Tata collaborating.
Yeah.
What do you got on that?
Well, so I wasn't forewarned.
Indeed not. But I just wondered what you knew. You know everything.
So what we've seen online, so that we've been sent a press release that actually documents a lot of the deal, which we're not allowed to talk about. Which begs the question why it was a press release. I'm not quite sure about that. But what I do know is that Tata have effectively bought Iveco and will partner with them to develop better commercial vehicles, or more maybe, just greater investment, because Iveco typically have been under the banner or the umbrella of one company or another, C&H Industrial and other companies in the past, but now Tata, massive company, lots and lots of money, a deal for something like 1.8 billion or maybe a bit more than that. I'm not sure. It was a lot of money that they spent out, and I'm sure they're going to want to get their money back. So watch this space for greater investment. We've seen development in their product. We had the E-Jolly in Europe last year, and or E-Jumpy, I should say, in Europe last year with a partnership with Hyundai. And now we've seen the partnership with Stellantis with 2 new vehicles. So another partnership with Tata should see them further strengthen their brand.
He's good, you know, isn't he? Just throw stuff at him and he just goes, yeah, I know about that. I can do that. No bother at all. Well done, Paul. Good effort. Shall we move on to the EV Commercial Collab, where we highlight innovation and new things in our industry.
The Commercial Collab from the EV Café.
Innovation applauded.
Right, and first up, there's been a double-digit fall for peak rate ultra-rapid EV charging. Better value for the driver. 13% reduction in the peak rate for ultra-rapid electric vehicle charging during June, according to the latest AA EV Recharge report. Jack Cousins, head of roads policy for the AA, said a staggering 8 pence per kilowatt-hour reduction in peak time costs at the fastest speed will not only keep the wheels turning but improve the image of motorway service areas. That is good news, and this brings pretty much price parity between petrol and EV. I like that story. More manufacturers have launched their own EV grants. You may be aware of the up to £3,750 grant that may come to some electric vehicles with some conditions in the future. 3 more manufacturers have launched their own grants for electric vehicles. Volvo, Hyundai Genesis and Skywell, a new name for me, with their first SUV, nattily named the BE11, or if Paul sees it, it'll be the Bell. They've all they've all declared savings. The EX30 from Volvo saves £1,500. Hyundai offers £3,750 off the Insta. That's a good deal, and £1,500 off. Yeah,
Wow,
and
it's a cheap little thing.
it's a fabulous little runaround, and £1,500 off all other EVs, including Kona, the Kona Electric, and the Ioniq range. And the Skywell Bell, as it will now be known, is a 72 kilowatt hour standard range vehicle SUV. It's potentially eligible. It's set at £36,995. However, have £3,750 off it. Paul.
Please, sir. May I just celebrate the fact that as part of the commercial clap, of course, we have launched our new leasing tool. Or have you got a plan for this? You've got a plan for this.
So number
God,
four
somebody hasn't read
in the
notes.
list. He's
New
good though. No,
DVD distribution.
just a second. Hold everything. There's really big news coming in a minute. We'll just go to that now. A cheeky wee clap for us as we provide the
Commercials
UK's
clap.
first. Right. Let's start this again. And a cheeky wee clap for us as we provide the UK's first fleet EV comparison website in partnership with leasing.com. Paul, well done, mate. Tell us more.
Well, look, we've worked really hard on this to bring this to life. We've partnered with leasing.com. We've been working with them for some time now. We've had to go through loops and hoops and all of those good things, but now you can log on to the EV Café website and find the vehicle of your dreams. And of course, there are vans on there. Yes, obviously, electric vans from £84 per month. I mean,
It's absolutely
hello,
superb.
incredible value, and then obviously cars like the Insta are probably on there. So if there's a deal out there in the marketplace, it will be on our website, and you will be able to. This is the practice session. Very good, well done. Yes, it is. This is a rehearsal. So log on to the website, go check it out. You'll see the new leasing partner section, and you too will be able to get yourself into an electric only. So we're not offering any diesel, PHEV, petrol, nothing like that. Only electric. You will find them there. Business deals, that's our main focus. So what we're trying to do is help smaller to medium-sized fleets go electric with some cracking business deals that are on there. So go and check them out. They're amazing. All of the details you can find as you click through into leasing.com.
And if you have any issues at all, don't worry. Just reach out to us because, we don't do rehearsals. We don't do like practice and stuff. So if you go anywhere, see anything and it's not quite working right, that's the way we are. That's how we roll. Let us know.
As evidenced.
And then we'll fix it. And the final commercial clap was that Nissan has unveiled a 1.4 million charging station for electric heavy goods vehicles at its Sunderland plant. And this is going to enable them to basically make and move stuff with on-site electric HGVs. Really, really good news there. I think we better get on with the news, don't you? Because we've not heard a lot from Sam yet, but I'm pretty sure that will change. Right. The average price.
Working either. No,
You don't know what, sorry?
clearly a 3-second delay. I said clearly a 3-second delay, so this is going to be fun. But I was just going to say, well done to Nissan on the HGV depot that we put through the Grid Serve Electric Freightway. So we're very, very proud of that. It's an amazing achievement, and it's already up and running in anger, working brilliantly. So long may that continue.
Yeah, absolutely. Now then, the average price for a used electric van has fallen by almost a third from June 2023 to June this year. New analysis suggests between June 23 and June 24, the price fell by £7,000 or 28%. This is used. And the analysis conducted by Market Check shows that the cost of a used electric van appears to have reached its market level between June 24 and 25, so the last sort of trading year that we've got data for. The price decrease was less steep, falling by just over 8% or £1,530, indicating that costs have plateaued. Paul, does that suggest that now is the best time to buy a used electric van?
To be quite honest, used electric vans have always been great value. It is a challenge though, because what we need them to be is not quite such good value. We need the value to plateau, as you've said, but they are still coming down, and that is because there is a general lack of insight and knowledge. And of course, only the prices can only go so low. But we need to educate that sector. We need to help that market understand what they're buying, what they're looking at, what the things to look out for, so that they can spot when actually the deals should be done. So, my encouragement to all of the likes of Cox Automotive, Mannheim, all of those guys, BCA, Aston Barclay, let's get some good electric information into that and help the prices, because it's knowledge that they're missing. The vehicles themselves are very good value, incredibly good value, and actually too good value at the moment to be sustainable within the market. We need that price to go up in order to affect the front end leasing values.
Quite right. Now we've lost Sam, but hey. Oh, he's back. Look at that. He's a bless, He's on holiday. Did we say that? He's on holiday. Right. Let's move on, because I need you for this one, Sam. Stick around. But first, the shout-outs. Let's do the shout-outs. Gary Comerford, 7:09 this morning. Morning. Busy day, early start. Daryl Sharp. Another week that's flown by. Let's see what John and the team are going to give us this Friday. Well, clearly a dress rehearsal. Stuart Humphrey, he drives Tessa, his Tesla Model Y, and he was asking, what does everybody drive? Good question. Morning all, Teresa. Lovely to see you. Mark Elliott, greetings to you. Evie Bino. Ron Godfrey. Weekly good medicine dose. Just what I need after all those painkillers. Do you know what, mate? You and me both. Root canal treatment yesterday. My head's like a drum. It's banging. But anyway, I hope you're well. Who else we got? We've done Stuart. Ashley Bannister. Ash himself. Two Mugs is here. Paul Shearer, Barnfather. Is it Friday already? It surely is. You lucky duck. Dave Bushnell. Hello from a dull South Cotswolds. The Cotswolds are never dull. One of the most beautiful parts of Britain, the United Kingdom, and all that malarkey. Michael Barton in Bristol, 8 out of 10 for him. Torrential rain yesterday. Well, I was in my shorts. Anyway, Belinda Guy, lovely to see you and all you are doing to lift up the great females of our industry. Been seeing a lot from you recently. Good on you. Ian Mayhew, you having a drink, mate? Oh, just in time. Morning all from a sunny Bournemouth. He did deliver that beer.
Southbourne actually lives. I don't know what... Ian Mayhew, correctly identify where you live, young man.
Is he trying to be posh?
Well, I would go with Southbourne, because Bournemouth's not that posh.
Don't start. Leo Pickford, pinching a punch for the... Go on, Sam.
So maybe he's just at work.
Maybe he is at work. Pinching a punch for the first of the month, because it is the 1st of August already. Daryl Sharp's got an Ioniq 5. Laura Huswick Wilkes, power to the people. Mark Main, lovely to see you. Ben Crew, he'll do. Lovely to see you. Not had you before, I don't think. Now, Mark Main, 5.5 billion euros. Is this a request?
No, it's the price that Tata paid for Iveco. So
Wowza. He's a good lad, That's a big bucket of change. Lulu O'Hagan, Madame Le Bonbon herself. Lovely to see you. Richard Zhang. Now, you're new. I'm from China. And I can take any news for EV charging from China. Well, Richard, you are most welcome. Thank you for joining us, and we could definitely use your help, my friend, because there's so many new entrants coming to the market. Ben McDonald, lovely to see you. Manufacturer Grant Teachers, manufacturer discount. You are right. But we don't care, it's cheaper. Gemma Robinson in the Highlands, good to see you. LinkedIn user, he's here. It's Peter Heath. He's got nice teeth. He's got better teeth than me at the moment. Martin Sweeney, lovely to see you. Who else we got? Richard Jang is very, very active. I like it. He drives a Zika 009. Ooh, 2 more than Mr. Bond. Nick Poynton, morning. Who else we got? I think that is a full house. Bless you all. Lovely to have you here. 10:15, 3 stories to go. And now we're talking electric HGVs. Greater investment in public charging infrastructure for electric heavy goods vehicles is needed if operators are to make the switch away from diesel, says Daimler Truck UK. The government's launched a new depot charging scheme which will offer fleets up to 75% off the cost of charging infrastructure. The £30 million fund, which ain't going to go far, which was announced on July the 13th, is expected to support the installation of more than 3,000 van and 200 HGV charge points. However, Daimler Trucks UK's Head of Future Sustainability, the quite wonderful and marvellous James Venables, is calling for more investment in the UK's public charging infrastructure. Sam, if you're able, what's the latest? Do we need more investment? Do we need to crack on and get what we've got in the ground and delivering, or a bit of both?
Yes, we do need a lot more investment, of course. I mean, James is wonderful. He's rather stating the obvious because we've been running projects already trying to catalyse this market and get things moving. So very much so, we need more investment. However, that is coming through. We've got the likes of all the ZHID projects that are starting to build things now, put stuff in the ground, like the Nissan factory, for example, on the commercial club earlier, as well as public sites. So it's history repeating itself in a way. It's just another genre of transportation that needs electrifying on the UK roads, and like everything else, we need to push forward and do things, which we are. You know how much I hate starting sentences with "we need." We are actually doing stuff. We are building things, and it will come through and manifest itself in greater volume as and when the demand dictates. But it's a very delicate balance because we're trying to understand demand versus supply in a completely nascent market with very, very expensive infrastructure. So it's a delicate game to play. It's easy to say, yeah, we need more, but it comes at a cost. And so we just have to get that balance right and the timing right.
Yeah, but I think what's important, Paul, is that we continue to talk about these things, because this may be the first time that anybody's come across even the notion of an electric HGV, never mind the work that's going into it. So constantly, part of our job, I think, is to continue to inform people.
Yeah, what I love is companies like Welch's. So Welch's have a hub just about 2 miles from me, and the ground is dug. They're beginning to put in this money from the ZHID trials. This 30 million, though, was, in my mind, wasn't really enough. I mean, 30 companies could get this, $1 million each. And interestingly, Johnny, who's obviously not with us today, he's on holiday as well. He has said that Navuna have already helped, many companies put forward, millions of this grant. So this grant is going to be gone in a heartbeat. Realistically, and there are a number of solutions, a number of caveats all around it, so you really got to think through the process. So there is more needed, but it is good, and sounds exactly right. You've got to get that balance between delivering it and then being able to get some money back from it, and it actually delivering meaningful charging where it's needed. But the one at Welsh's, I will be going up and seeing it soon, and I'll show you the progress.
Oh, golly, that's exciting. And I think what's really, really important is that we recognise that we've got some very, very skilled people doing this, and, none less than Sam. And we don't call him out often enough for being at the forefront of EHGV projects and doing just a tremendous job. As we don't shout you out, Paul, enough for electric van work. You're both experts in your own field, and we are very, very blessed to have you here for your comment. So thank you both. Now then, something they know bog all about is shipping. So I've got a story about shipping. Just 4 of Europe's 31 biggest ports have invested in at least half of the required shoreside electrical infrastructure, which will drastically reduce air pollution and CO2 emissions when ships are in port. Europe's ports are failing to tackle toxic air pollution. A new study looking at major European port shows. The study carried out by DNV shows that to date, just 20% of the EU's required electric shore power infrastructure has been installed or commissioned in major ports, meaning that most container ships, cruise ships and ferries continue to run on fossil fuels whilst docked. Over 7% of EU maritime CO2 emissions come from ships running on fossil fuels at ports. Alongside CO2, ships also emit everything that cars do: SOx, NOx, particulate matter, and they have significant effects on human health. And as part of the EU Green Deal, EU ports are required to provide shoreside electricity to ships by 2030. But installing shoreside plug-in connections today would already improve air pollution in port cities. And my question is, why are they not doing this as a matter of urgency? Guys, any thoughts? I mean, for me, we should be using renewables. We should be able to create that on massive docks that we have, storing it locally and using it for shipping. Have I gone round the bend?
I was stopping to let Sam dive in
mate.
with his 3-second delay.
Oh, that's very kind. Thank you. Yes. Well, yeah, that's very kind, Paul. Thank you. I do have a 3-second delay, and it is excruciating for both ends. So thank you. I suspect it's cost, John. I mean, this stuff is the type of power and requirements in those sort of areas will be unimaginably colossal. And you're talking hundreds of millions of pounds worth of infrastructure, and also the space by which to do it, whilst also operating in a 24/7 live environment, which is incredibly challenging. So, without, as you're quite right, I don't know much about shipping, but I suspect it's a very, very expensive, very complex infrastructure to try and undertake, and it will take probably decades to facilitate.
I just can't wait to clip this particular segment from YouTube. I don't know much about it, said Sam. A rare occurrence. Paul.
Well, I was going to say, Norway seem to be doing a pretty good job of electrifying their shipping, and so it must be possible. And I think there are lots of, I mean, is this a world where the hybrid could work? You get out of or get in and out of the port under electric power, where the CO2s and the SOx and NOx and all of that kind of stuff are going to be most thing, but. I think there's a lot that can be done. The port side movement is already being electrified from a truck perspective. Terberg are doing a great job in that way. The shunters and other things that are going on there. So I think there's more that can be done. And look, at the end of the 18th, 19th century, 1890, so on, we had a lot of electric shipping, particularly the domestic shipping. But I know the big shipping across the world, maybe not so much. But that's, there's got to be a chance, right? And I think it is possible.
It's one of those things which is fascinating to me, because airports, I would argue, are smaller than ports generally. And I'm seeing an awful lot of airports when I do fly, and it is not that often, Sam. Sit, calm, breathe. And they have solar panels, and they do have battery storage, and they are using renewables. And I'm seeing this more and more in airport operations, and I wonder why shipping is just that bit behind. Anyway.
It's nice to see Gemma's off to see the electric hydrofoil ferry in Orkney next month. There we go. So it is happening.
Yes, indeed. Yes, so I see. Yes, I'd lost my comments there for a moment. Right, okay, final story. The UK parcel delivery company DPD has announced a new investment of £330 million to build 7 state-of-the-art distribution centres in the next 2 years. Each location is optimised in terms of transport links to ensure the most efficient operation possible, with DPD's increasing the electric van fleet and will include EV charging facilities. Backstory: DPD have pretty well always said drivers would use public infrastructure to do their charging, and that has served them well over the last 2 or 3 years, I think. It's been at some cost to perhaps reputation in that some drivers do get a little bit narky when DPD are there charging up their vehicles. However, 330 million being put into these distribution centres, and electric vehicle charging is a fundamental part of that build. Sam, I'm thrilled. Are you?
Yeah, it's great, isn't it? And I know this is going to be a
Yeah.
delay before I start talking, so I'm just going to keep going. But yeah, no, it's good. I mean, they just continue to impress DPD. They really do, and they've taken what I did many years ago and times it by God knows how many hundreds of thousands and created this massive infrastructure. And it makes sense to invest in those depots. They need every single solution out there because of the magnitude of operation. So yeah, good luck to them.
Yeah, Paul, we've visited DPD and seen Ollie Crawn and the guys there. They really have set the tone for logistics. Are others following suit, or is it just DPD really leading the way?
Well, let's say that definitely DPD are leading the way on this one. Obviously, from given their model. Their model is owner drivers. Their model is some of the vehicles come back to depots, some of them go home. So there's a bit of a split there. But what they've discovered is that actually opportunity charging, so charging when you're stopped at the depots, is a very effective way of doing it. And also, of course, they can create low-cost energy through solar and battery energy storage and all that sort of stuff. And I'm hopefully due to go down and see this very site in London in the not-too-distant future. A few changes have happened, so I just need to kind of tee up something. But I'm hoping to go see it. But are others doing stuff as well? Yes, absolutely. There are others focused on the decarbonisation. Amazon obviously do a lot. They've got a lot of electric vehicles. How they charge them, though, with their DSP model, I'm not clear on that for sure. But certainly, because of the size of the warehouses, the depots, and the regularity with which the drivers have to come in and fill up and go back out again, there is definitely a chance to opportunity charge in that way.
There's some comments about Portsmouth electrifying as a port, and that's good news. Richard Zhang asks, and as you're new, Richard, you get a question. Does the UK still have subsidy for building EV charging stations? Sam?
Not really. There's lots
No.
of different grants and
Yeah.
available for different parts of the supply chain, like energy and connections, but not the chargers themselves. No, but
Well,
yeah, it's
Sam,
more than just. Go on, Paul.
Let me just add a little bit to that. There is still the £350 per socket grant up to £14,000 or 40 sockets. Yeah, I think it's 40 sockets. So
Yeah.
40 sockets, £14,000 will help electrify a depot, but it is a smallish amount of money. But it's there. There is money.
Now then, Peter Lever points out about wireless charging. It's something we don't touch on greatly. Do you think it's got its place or not? Are we just into wired? Yes. One is saying yes, one's saying no. Let's go to Sam and his 3-second delay first.
I did a study on this a few years ago, so Paul might have some anecdotal stuff, but I actually did a trial on this and it failed miserably. It's just too complex to get the vehicles in the places you want them in the precise positioning for the commercial world, not least the fact that you use the same areas for multiple uses throughout the 24-hour cycle. So we found that it just didn't work. It was just far too complex, not to mention having to dig up the ground and the dilapidation costs and the cost of the infrastructure when a couple of £100 cable on an AC charger did the job just fine. So nice idea. And there will be, I like all these things, innovation's great, and there will be applications where it suits. But for most commercial usage, it's not practical or affordable.
That's really, really helpful, Sam. Thank you for your position on that. Peter Lever says it's totally changed now, and I wonder if that is why Paul is nodding his head. Go, Paul.
Yeah, look, so let me just kind of have a conversation that I had 2008. 2008, electric vans, what madness is this? We took the Vito e-cell into DEFRA and we said, right, this is going to change the world. No, it isn't. Where do I plug it in? How do I do this? Well, this is never going to work. It's just not got the thing. Modec came out, brilliant vehicle, went bust. Smith's electric vehicle came out, brilliant vehicle, went bust. These vehicles took another 10 or 12 years to get to fruition, to a point where they were technologically possible. And what we're seeing is that inductive charging is becoming, that there's a less of a need for it to be as accurate. The energy studies and the transition to these kinds of things is definitely improving. And of course, when you've got warehouses and depots with vehicles sitting for long periods of time, and it's very difficult to dig up, to put in all of this infrastructure around the edges and park them in the right places and all those kinds of things. Yeah, I know. But when you're building from scratch,
Well, that's that argument
it makes
blown.
but it makes, when you're building from scratch, it makes a lot of sense. And when you're building new roads and when you're doing all of these other things. So, we never believed that our phones would charge by just putting them on the table, but now they do.
Oh God!
It's technology.
I think before
The
Paul,
Luddite
before
thinks everything
All
stopped
right.
12 years ago or 15
Before-
years ago.
before Sam spontaneously combusts, we're saved by the bells. If you've got any clean transport PR or news stories you'd like us to cover, and possibly induction charging is one of them. And Peter Lever, I'm going to go and have a look at Hevo and Induct EV just to get what's happening, because I think there is a debate to be had, clearly. And I've very much enjoyed you two just sparking a little bit. Well done. If you've got any clean transport PR or news stories you'd like us to cover, please send them to us at hello@evcafe.org. Until next Friday, it's goodbye from me, and it's goodbye from my two friends Sam and Paul. This has been an EV Cafe production. Other sustainability news services are available. You're going to have to shout, Paul. But this has been funner! The EV Cafe is
Sam's
truly
3-second
blessed
delay missed that. Yeah.
to be partnered with the AA, Webfleet, Europcar, Iveco, Spiri, Schneider Electric, Dynamon, EV Blocks, AW Energy and CPD Bodies. We are the EV Cafe, supporting the transition to clean transport, ably supported by Drax Electric Vehicles. Thank you, because you've come, you've listened, it's Friday, and you know what? Take Monday off. I think it might be a bank holiday, but take it anyway. And we'll see you next week.
Not here it
yeah.
isn't. In Scotland it might be. It's not.
Oh, is it only in Scotland? Oh, you poor lot don't get... Oh, bless. Well, I'm off for my bank holiday. I'll see you all later. Bye.
Bye.
British bank holiday.
Scottish bank holiday.